Okay, this is different. This is weird, but welcome to episode 126 of the Loose Laces podcast. We are doing something very strange, something that most people never thought would happen without me going to jail, get my ass beat.
What?
Hey man, Australians are tough. My name is Davon. I'm joined by my co-host,
Shot.
and we're joined by a very special guest. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Scott. Yeah, I from E.Q.L. So this is super exciting, mate. I never thought this would happen.
Really?
Can you imagine?
Yeah, hold on.
I love that my son forgot to call his grandparents and they just stuck. It wouldn't be loose laces if it wasn't something chaotic going on. You can just, yeah, just tell them we'll talk to them later. Okay. So back to being serious podcast is a very special episode. Scott is one of the realest guys ever. He was so calm, so casual, and he reached out to us to clear the record. He's seen all the equal, not E.Q.L. slander, our failings. The company's aware of our shenanigans, and he said, "No, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna make the best five. We're gonna get to the bottom of all these shenanigans so it can stop, and we can be friends. Because this is an episode of peace, understanding, and maybe a little joke here or there." Because we already started off with shenanigans. Shout out to my mom for trying to ruin.
Yeah, mom said hi. Love you, mom.
All right. So, off rip, I just wanted to say thank you, Scott. You have been phenomenal for even reaching out to us, for agreeing to go through all the trouble of getting the blessing from Mitch, who I believe has forgiven us for our sins.
Shout out Mitch, man.
Yeah, Mitch can take one. He took it on the chin, and he's been really cool. And the CEO for authorizing this because this is a surprise to everyone. Not many people are aware of this, and this is why we were so secretive about it. No questions from y'all. It's just going to be a free flowing conversation about equal. In the, I don't know how to put it.
No, I mean, look. Well, let me say this. I don't know if Scott has given the disclaimer yet, but everything that he says, please do not jump him for it.
Yeah.
He is doing the best that he can as far as representing the company, but he's representing himself. And also,
Yeah.
please do not jump up in our mentions with anything regarding anything past the interview. Like, we are not a representation of equal as well. I've seen that with some people in like after certain situations.
Yeah, people think like, no, this is all independent. This is just a handshake and hey man, we're gonna make the best of this.
We breaking bread.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're breaking bread. But hey, I appreciate you guys you saying that, especially shout around. I guess I wanted to meet you guys, catch up with you guys, reach out to you guys because I think well, first of all, I respect what you guys are doing, both the podcast and Davon with your brand you've got going on. I respect the hustle, and I think that everyone is out there hustling. So that's kind of the first and foremost thing. I'm not. We're just here chatting, right? Like, I'm not here to represent equal or like try and do anything other than just like have a conversation with you guys who are a big part of the community. You're a loud voice in the community, and I respect that, as like an individual, and just have a good conversation about like releases and launches, and what are some of the features of equal, and what are some of the misunderstandings around them, and have a laugh along the way, and as you guys said, break bread. But yeah, so this is my words. This is not like a PR moment or anything like that. I'm not PR trained. Like, I'm going to say something wrong. Probably people are going to be up and about it. But yeah, like, just here to try and help some understanding and shoot the shit with you guys.
All right. Well, so Davon,
you got to bring the mic over because I realized my mic isn't being picked up by this thing. Hold on, let me see if I can try something.
Hello? Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So let's
we gotta share this mic. We back to the old styles.
Pause. Okay. That's crazy. Can you still hear me clearly?
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. So Davon initially described this was going to be a guerrilla style interview. So I'm gonna start off with the question that everyone has clearly seen on the internet, but it's not going to be the same question. Not 100 men versus a gorilla, but what shoes, if you happen to be drafted to fight a gorilla with 99 other men, would you wear? Let's test your knowledge of sneakers.
My knowledge of sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. What shoes would I wear if I was drafted to fight the 99?
Yeah, if you were to join 99 other people to take down a gorilla, what shoes would Scott Carter pick up to be like, you know what?
That's a good question.
Yeah. See? Yeah.
Wow.
I'm upset that I know my answer immediately.
Well, what's your answer?
I will wear Air Raids.
What?
Air
I'm
Raids
making
is a good
peace.
one.
Yeah, I'm wearing a peace Air Raids because I'm not fighting that fucking ape.
Man, I think I'm going something like old school ACG, you know, that's got, because it's going to get messy. It's going to get messy. So, you know, you need a bit of grip, you need a bit of like, you know, water protection. Like there's going to be liquid spilling.
Shoot, old school ACG. That's tough. Like the vintage Superdomes. The vintage Superdomes are pretty good. Give you nice grip.
I'm just thinking like a ball of taro, so I can at least look fun while I'm dying.
I don't know, man. I think
Always.
I might go with a phone posit, man. I might go with a phone posit. You know what I mean? Like something to protect the toes.
Yeah.
But it has to be like a phone posit pro with the double stacked air zoom. So
yeah.
I mean,
for
like
running from when this great ape beat your ass.
Hey man, I think I got a chance.
I think you're thinking more about like your cutting, your side to side movement, and
you know, like a Penny Hardaway move when I like dodge that first punch and then just try to punch it in the ear. I think some phone posit pros, not the pennies, the phone posit pros, way different.
That's the one thing I never thought about in that whole scenario.
But just to all right, so just to get us back on topic, or back to the initial topic. So E.Q.L.
No.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Actually, I just want to say, you know, from the outset, thank you. You guys have moved from E.Q.L to E.Q.L. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the support.
Not a problem.
I mean, it's the least we can do after all the shit we've talked, and for you to be willing to talk to us, we can use the proper name. But actually, stepping away from E.Q.L for a second, I wanted you, because I feel like you're one of those Twitter accounts that it's a if you know, you know. I would love for you to introduce yourself, to tell the people who you are, what you do, your history, and everything that comes along with that.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, like I've done a bit of, I guess, lurking, watching since it on Twitter for the last few years, especially since being at E.Q.L. But yeah, I joined E.Q.L maybe 2.5 years ago now, and I lead our sneakers and streetwear business at the company. It's only a small company. We've got 45, 50 people. You know, you guys, well, everyone sees us in a few different categories. Well, I lead our sneakers and streetwear. I joined E.Q.L after returning to Australia. I lived in the US for 4 years. And that was the last 4 years that I spent at Nike. And so I was at Nike for 18 years. You know, in a whole bunch of like sales and marketplace and account management roles in Australia, and also in Europe for a few years, then back to Australia, and then over to the US. And in that last 4 years, I did basically 2 roles. One of them was I was like Nike Sportswear and Neighborhood sales director for Asia Pacific and Latin America. So kind of one region of the Nike global setup. And so worked with the different neighborhood leaders and stores and teams across, you know, Korea and Japan and Latin America and here in Pacific and yeah, South America and those regions. So that was super fun. And then my last role at Nike was global marketplace or global sales director for neighborhood. And so yeah, that was, man, the most fun I've had in a Nike job. I think, you know, over the whole journey, like it was a dream job. If you're into sneakers, if you're, you know, got in the sales kind of career like that, that was kind of a dream job, and I never ever took that for granted. The only thing I regret is I only did it for a year before bringing the family back home to Australia. But yeah, that was a super cool job. The last 4 years were super cool, actually, in Portland headquarters there, working at Nike headquarters. It's like dream come true. So, you know, I'd wanted to work for the brand since I was a kid, since I was a teenager. Me and my brothers used to mess around in the backyard here playing sport, every kind of sport, and trying to, you know, emulate all of our heroes. And all of mine all wore Nike. We're all Nike athletes back in the day. So, so, you know, to kind of fulfill that dream was amazing. And yeah, like in those last few jobs and getting deeper and deeper in sportswear and the neighborhood, one thing that I became really passionate about was making sure that people had a fair shot at getting their hands on the shoes or the thing. And I think, Devon, in our catch up, I said, oh, when you grow up at Nike, and that's how I like to think about it or term it. Like, I grew up at Nike. I was there 18 years. It's like a big chunk of my life. And you learn a lot. But one thing that it gets ingrained in you at Nike is about the connection to consumer and the connection that consumers have with the product and the stories and everything that goes with it, right? It can get really emotional. Mm-hmm. And we see that come to life through the neighborhood ecosystem, like nothing else. Like you see it on drop day, people going absolutely crazy and crying and shouting, and, you know, because they couldn't get their hands on a pair of shoes. So, but you know, the stories and everything that goes with it is what like always fascinated me, and you know, just I was in awe of the creativity, the storytelling, and then the connection that people would get with this product. So, you know, so I was in that role, in the neighborhood role, the global neighborhood role in basically all of 2021, which was kind of like the height of sneaker culture and botting and everything that was going on around in the sneaker community. So it was fascinating to be in the team at that time and what was happening at the brand. But it really made me passionate about fairness. And so when I moved back to Australia and realized that the founders of E.Q.L live 5 minutes drive from me, yeah, we connected and kind of thought like, hey, this could be a good working relationship, and let's get together. How can I help you guys? The company was only a year old or something like that. And yeah, so been here 2.5 years now, and thoroughly enjoy it. And, you know, there's a lot of people at E.Q.L that have the same passion that I have for fairness and making sure that people just have a fair shot. But we can talk about that a little bit more as well.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Like, I already knew the story. I'm not even going to sit up here in front like this is new to me, but I just love that because all I could think is like, this guy gets it, but I hate him because he's the person that's getting people to sign up for this, and now my hits have gone through the fucking floor. But I appreciate that, and I'm glad you were able to tell that story, because I feel like a big misconception with E.Q.L, we feel like as a community is a bunch of Australian dudes who don't know what the fuck they're doing, that just came in and started doing this stuff. And I'm glad that you could give that perception that, you know this, you have the history, and you're here to try to make the best of this, because those botting days were fucking rough.
Yeah, and mate, like so I don't know if everyone knows the full history of E.Q.L and like who started it and why, but the three guys that started it, so they're all at Google at the same, like working at Google, and two of them were mad sneakerheads, and, you know, they're getting a little bit older, and so lining up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning in central Melbourne, like, wasn't, when they've got two young kids at home, like, wasn't really an option for them. But they also had some really shitty experiences where they'd won a raffle online and then they go in store to pick it up and the store would be like, nah, no, we don't have any record of that win and there's no inventory left. So, there was this mismatch between like the online experience and then the store inventory and they weren't talking to each other and it just wasn't working. And so these guys thought, as all crazy entrepreneurs do, they think, fuck this, we can make a better way. We can make a better way here, right? And so you've got these sneakerheads that kind of knew what it was like to have a bad experience on a drop. And then they roped in their mate who was kind of he was an engineer leading the gaming tech stack at Google. So this guy's like super smart, loves solving a challenge, like loves a challenge. And he saw this as a huge challenge. And so the three of them got together and kind of built this product, trying to make it easier for fans to enter, right? So the smoother process and give them and they knew they could build a way that would be able to make sure real people won, but then also making it easier for the retailers. So making it easier for them to connect their inventory, do online drops that connect into all of their order management systems and all of that stuff. And so yeah, it was really born from a couple of sneakerheads having some poor experiences and looking to make it better for fans and for retailers and the overall experience. And so yeah, that's how it was started. So there's people at E.Q.L that understand the sneaker community. I think Mitch, you guys mentioned Mitch. Mitch is amazing. He's one of the best human beings you will ever meet, honestly. And he loves the sneaker community. He's very passionate about it. And he's really good at what he does. So we're very lucky to have someone in that role leading brand that gets sneakers. And so, yeah.
Yo, shout out Mitch, because I was in your Discord and I love how the Discord goes from like, fuck yeah, we love E.Q.L, we love E.Q.L, we love you guys. Woo! Fairness. Hey, I ain't hit the drop. Fuck you, Mitch.
Yeah.
Or, I seen Mitch do a 1v100. I think it was the Bronson drop, the Lapis Azul.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people hit and then their card got declined. And all the Apple Card users were like, you know what? Fuck E.Q.L. Fuck E.Q.L. Fuck you, Mitch. And I'm like, whoa, bro. Like, I hate the company too, but he ain't do it. Because there was a few motherfuckers that were in there. It was like, my Apple Card was closed at the time. Why didn't y'all tell me to open it?
Yeah.
I love shitting on y'all, but even then I was like, bro, why would you enter a raffle with your card closed? It ain't here nor there, but yeah, shout out Mitch and shout out to the founders. One of them cussed us out. That was fun. Shout out to that guy. I forgot who it was. I will say this. I like y'all because y'all willing to fight back. Because when I saw that notification, oh shit. Okay, today's the day. He played that smooth. He did a drive-by, hit us with the little zinger and dipped.
Well, so
They gave you a bit of ammo too, didn't it? You loved that. You enjoyed
I was
that.
hyped. Like, I can't wait to record. Fuck this guy.
So let me start off with this question. Just like now you've expressed how involved with Nike you were, and also just your knowledge of the community, as well as two other founders. Do you think that their story has been promoted enough to say, look, E.Q.L is a product of our love for the game. It's not just this thing that we're trying to sell you guys just because like it's tech versus, hey, we're trying to combat botting because we were where y'all were. You know, like whenever I saw it, I didn't feel like it was being promoted as you have, eloquently put it. So do you feel the same, or do you feel like,
Yeah, probably not, Chad. Like that story hasn't come through, but maybe it will one day a little bit clearer as the company gets older, I guess, and progresses. But but yeah, probably not. And I don't even know whether to say that's a miss or not. You know, like I think some people like their story being kind of out there and front and center, and other people, and you know, I guess the guys are like, hey, let's just build a great product, and then that's the story, you know. But I think maybe there could have been some more messaging around, like, hey, we're passionate about the same things you guys are, and we're trying to help fix some of the poor experiences that happen on drop day.
I mean, if we're being honest, it would be great to have the story, but when you get that fucking silver lining email,
We pulled that out, man. Come on, like
oh, I
there's no
know,
more silver lining mentioned.
I know, but that's
No,
what y'all known for. That your
yeah,
chances are better this time. I'm not gonna front. It was a few times, just like, if I didn't pay money for this fucking computer,
yeah,
yeah, I've had some talks with store owners with that, because I'm like, I'm glad you guys have gotten away from some of the messaging. It's just like working on the inside of the company. Do you feel like you guys have gotten better at messaging? Because I know the silver lining was good, then it got agitating, and then the new feature with the second chances with changing your card and doing that, because I've been very critical of that, and we talked about that on our initial call.
yeah.
And the what is it called? The second chance with the different
Winsurance,
sizing.
winsurance.
Oh yeah, winsurance, but also where you could select two sizes if you're equal, like an equal plus. It feels so weird saying equal plus. An equal plus subscriber, you
Yeah.
get to pick two sizes. Do you feel like you guys have gotten better, or could have gotten better? Because there was a lot of backlash. I know I was one of the people in the crowd screaming because, any chance I get. But how do you feel that's gone over? If you guys have kind of improved your message, or if you're getting better with the message?
Oh, man, I think like any company, like any team, like we're going to get better over time, and no, we don't at all think that we're perfect or we get anything 100% perfect with the messaging or anything like that. And again, shout out to Mitch, because like I want to also, he's got a small and mighty team, and he's operating in a community that's like loud and just loud, I guess. Like, and I want to say critical, but also supportive, because that's also loud and helpful and not helpful sometimes. But it's but yeah, I think I think that we are learning more and more as we go. And hey, we listen to the voices, and like silver lining was probably a little bit grating for some people, just grated people the wrong way. And so you learn from it and evolve it. I think the second chance feature was actually interesting how that came out to market, because we were just kind of testing it. And this is a testament to the community in a way, is like it gets picked up and then it just goes. And so, yeah, we were testing it rather than getting ready to like fully release it. But it was such a positive response to it, largely, that we just kind of went with it and rolled it out and accelerated it. But could we have told the message about it or the story around it a little bit better? Maybe. And yeah, I don't know if you guys, what's your understanding of how that second chance works?
So, from what I gathered before looking into it further, it's kind of like how some stores have it where, you can enter for multiple sizes, like enter for your size and enter for a secondary size if you win. And like, you can, if you win, you can pick between these two sizes or what's available afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it in that way. But then I was like, that's some bullshit. Y'all supposed to be the fairness guys. So
Yeah.
some asshole enters for a size 13, and then, I can't get the money size. So then I'll take my 10. So that's
Yeah.
how it came off to me. And it's just like, I get it. But I feel like this is something I've always been critical about with you guys. The messaging kind of shoots any sort of innovation, because when you scream fairness, fair is you got to the front of the line, you're sitting here. It's fair for my ass to get it now that you missed it. Or with the winsurance makes more sense now, because like I'll let you explain how insurance works, but
Yeah.
with a better understanding of what it is and why you guys have to do it that way, it
Mm.
makes sense. It's just like when you don't get the full story, essentially it's playing a game of telephone because you see it on Twitter and then
Yeah.
you have somebody come up and say, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever," because you won. Why don't
Yeah.
I get that? So I feel like I had an understanding, but it was, I mean, it's kind of like reading a text message. If you saw how me and him text, you wouldn't understand half the
Yeah.
responses. So not being able to hear it was difficult. So that's why I was excited to do this episode for you to give a better chance for people to understand why insurance is the way it is and why you guys did what you did with the second chance, for lack of a
Mm.
better term.
Yeah. And maybe we start with like how equal actually works. And like this is published in like a blog around the equalizer and how the equalizer works, right? But when you enter into an equal raffle, an equal launch, you get, everyone gets a random number, right? So it's not like, you know, your name goes into a hat and we pick your name out of, like, we pick people out one by one. Like, it's, everyone is given a random number. And so Davon, you might get 3, Shard, you get 23, and I get
Hell yeah.
503. And so and then we go in order. And so we go, Davon, okay, you're third, so we get to you. So yeah, it's essentially like, you know, like going up the line. After you've given a random number, you go and stand in line of that number. And when we get to you, we go, okay, Davon, you wanted a size 10. Is it there? No. Okay, we move on to the next person. And then we get to shout, oh, is it, you're a 10.5? It's still there? Yeah. Okay. So yes, you've got your W. Now, what the second choice does is just gives you a second choice when you're selected. So it doesn't give you two tickets or 2 numbers or anything like that. It's just like, if you, Davon, you're a size 10, but hey, in an Air Force One, you might fit a 9.5. So on that drop, you might select a 9.5 as your second choice. And when we get to you, if a 10 isn't available, then we'll check to see if a 9.5 is available. And if it is, well, then you get your win. You hold on to that win. So a lot of the features like second choice and Winsurance are built with the intention of trying to like protect the W that you've got and give you just protect the W that you've managed to get. And we'll talk about Winsurance in a second, but yeah, so it's not 2 entries in the pot or anything like that. It's just an alternate size because of how I just described it there. So I don't know, does that make a little bit more sense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. Like I said, I think what gets you guys hemmed up is kind of why I always play a bad guy. When I decide to put someone like on the cross, it's expected. Versus if I was like, hey, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, I'm all about fairness, and then I cut somebody out, it's like, that's crazy. So I think with how the second chance was presented, it came off of like, oh, so this is perfect for resellers. Just enter for whatever size. But when you explain it that way, it's like, if you were going to win anyway and your first choice isn't there, you could put it there. And I mean, most people would think, well, why don't you make it within a half a size up and down? But you can't stop someone that's winning. You know, I get fairness, but you can't stop a bullshitter. You know, stores can do in store, you got to wear your shoe size, or what was it, DJ Clark Kent with the 112 pack?
Yeah.
Where he destroyed the box and you had to wear the shoe out the store and you had people duck walking. It's like, you can be as fair as you want, but you're not always going to get it to the right person. And I've always hated that. But, you know, you're a company. You got to be like, hey, we love the right people. So it makes total sense. It's just a matter of, why am I reading this through text? Oh, okay, so y'all helping resellers. I already don't win raffles. Now y'all helping resellers. Bet I got you, E.Q.L.
Yeah.
So me, I'm not like in the discords like Davon. I'm kind of, you know, I try to tell people. Yeah, well, I represent more so like the spirit of I come from lineups,
Yep.
the Nike Talk forum, someone post up,
Yep.
where something is, and I'm there.
Yeah.
So when I see EQL, I probably have like maybe a total of 10 tries on EQL and struck out on all of them. But
Yep.
it didn't really deter me. It was like one of those things where, all right, well, I missed whatever. It's just not meant to be. How do you plan on marketing it to people that aren't necessarily as technologically savvy as, say, even though I'm pretty sure you guys get way more traffic than you guys probably even anticipated.
Mm.
Um, do you still plan on marketing it past that? Or is there like sort of a satisfaction now?
What do you mean, mate? And it'd be hard for me to talk about like how we want to market it. I don't want to step on Mitch's
I mean,
toes or anything like that. But you mean like how are we trying to reach like a broader audience
yeah, like
outside of just like
I
high heel?
know it's pretty much like relegated to, I guess, the boutiques or whoever your
Yeah,
customers are, but
yeah,
I feel like EQL has plans past that, right?
yeah.
Like I feel like
Well,
you guys go ahead.
yeah. Oh man, for sure, right? Like we're a company that we're a commercial, company that's trying to build a business and drive growth for sure. And I think equal was started as exactly how we talked about, right? Like these guys created a mechanic that was able to make sure real people won in a fair way, and it was easy for retailers. So it was like a raffle mechanic. That's how it started. We could, we feel confident about filtering out the bots and picking people from a pot of real people. So, but it's really evolving to, and that always works well in a situation where there's more demand than supply. And that's like the ideal situation of, how the product was created for sure. But where the company is going is like really evolving into like a launch platform to give retailers the tools to be able to take a product to market in whatever way they choose, and so that we're just trying to build different mechanics into the launch platform, almost like a launch operating system for a retailer to go, okay, great, I've got this super limited run. Am I gonna reward our VIPs with exclusive access, or am I gonna do a friends and family drop? And just have this very exclusive list of people that get a link for them to purchase rather than a link for them to enter a raffle? Or am I going to open it up to an open raffle where everyone can enter, and we take entries from whoever wants to get in the mix, and pick winners from that. So yeah, there's that side of it, like that. How do we serve retailers and give retailers the tools to add into their launch strategy? But then there's also, you guys have seen, you've talked about Equal Plus. There's this whole world of like fans, and like how do we create a universe where fans can connect with each other and discover launches? And I followed Dave on Equal Plus. And he's entered the launch, and I didn't know that launch was open. So oh wow, I'll go on. I can follow the link on his profile to enter that launch. So there's a whole world of connecting fans and discovery.
I have to go on record and say I fucking hate that you guys did that, because I see so many things. I'm like, okay, if I enter this, it's not going to be low key, but because it's amazing if you don't know a raffle's happening. It's like, oh, no trade did that. Okay, oh, undefeated did that, and then it's like, I wish. Like, I think that's the biggest push that I've always had against like the digital age. I've
Yeah,
grown up in it. If you know, you know. Like, we had a store here called Shop Gente, and my favorite line, like when someone's like, "Where'd you get those?" Chill. You're not even cool enough to get these. And it's
yeah,
not a knock against you guys, because if it's not you guys or the Equal app website showing all the goddamn secret links, it's a sneaker page. Enter
yeah,
now. 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
So
And like, I mean, I think like there's it's a balance, right? Like brands and retailers should be thinking about like multiple different ways to launch their product and take it to market. And one of the ways should be a little more secretive and a little bit more, if you know, and go back to those times where you've got to have a relationship with the guy in store to know what's coming up. Like that would be cool. In the digital age today, I don't know how you do that, but maybe I think there is a way we can do secret drops of, sure, everyone's going to know about the shoe, but maybe they're dropping it a few days early for some select VIPs, and like that's the equivalent today of if you know, you know.
yeah,
And yeah, then doing one of the features that I love about E.Q.L, and I like seeing more and more retailers use it, and we built this for neighborhood stores, was this locals priority. So
yeah,
it's like understanding that the stores are a really important part of the community and like a hub of sneaker culture in their immediate community, and that the people that live around that store, you assume are their biggest supporters and are there every other week, and they're in there talking to the crew that work in the store and building those relationships. Well, the locals priority feature, gives them an increased chance. So it doesn't give them an increased number of entries or anything like that. It just prioritizes those entries over entries outside of that area. And so that's why that feature was built, to like support the neighborhood stores supporting their immediate community.
I wish more stores would use it, because like I've talked about it on the timeline, and Mitch actually tapped my fingers because I have some of y'all documents from a few years ago, and I know you have a whole suite of tools that stores don't fully utilize. Because like I've seen
Yeah.
AMM and Social Status use it. Joe Freshgoods, friend of the show, has done an amazing job with his special colorways being like an in-store pickup only
Yeah.
for like the special colorways. And I wish we could see more of that. And like, I know it's not on you guys, because, you give someone a tool, you can only hope that they use it the right way.
Yeah.
And AMM, I hate that AMM does their raffles like 20 days before it ends, like before it's over, because my biggest issue with raffles has always been, it's just one long cock tease. You've been entered in this raffle for 7 days, and then silver lining. I know it's not there, but it's what comes to mind. But actually, I'm sorry. I wanted to circle back because we kind of got away from it. You are about to explain what insurance was, because that's one of the biggest misconceptions. And I was really grateful for when you explained what it is. I'm not paying for it, but I love that it's there.
Yeah, no, cool. So Winsurance is it's, I guess, like how it sounds is like it's trying to ensure the win against, like, if your card fails, or if for whatever reason you've entered the raffle and you don't have the room on your card, then it's going to decline. Then we'll kind of give you some time to fix that, and then circle back with a buy now link. So just to go back maybe a couple of steps, like you get a random number, you get to your place in the line. Yes, your size 10 is available. We go to charge your card, bank declines it. Every other raffle platform that does this, the pre-authorization or off session purchase, will just move on to the next person, and you lose that win. But we've built this feature where we will go, okay, your card declined, you're an E.Q.L Plus membership. One of the benefits of that is that we will hold on to that size 10 for you. We'll give you 15 minutes to sort out your stuff with the bank, and then we're going to come back and we're going to try that card again. And if it fails again, then we're going to send you a direct link to purchase the shoe or the thing, and you might use a different card with using that link. So it gives you the opportunity. It's kind of giving you every chance to make sure you get that win that you've got, because it's a pretty coveted spot. Now, that also benefits non-equal plus members, right? Like if it's a draw where, we go through all of the legit entries and go, oh, well, there's still inventory left. We'll come back to you. If your card failed, we'll come back to you and try again. And so you've had a little bit of time to sort that out. But we'll come back if there's still inventory left over and try that card again. So when we've built features like this and the guys, and we learn about the experiences and we keep learning, we're going to build features that are going to be part of the Equal Plus membership, because, I don't know what you guys think, but I think like that is a pretty high value situation to, high heat draw where inventory is super low. Like if you've got your W, it's the worst thing is that your card doesn't work and you don't get a chance to fix it. Well, we're giving you the chance to fix it because we've built in this mechanic. It's not easy. It's like, it's an additional feature to the product. So we feel like that's a value that a membership, program deserves, I guess. But at the same time, we've built the feature to circle back for non-members if there's inventory left over.
Okay, because I was about to give you one of those questions like, why should we pay for this? But that makes sense. It's extra tech, so give us a little bit of money. So I respect it. If I wasn't lucky enough to hit on drops like I do, I might pay for it. But the fact that you guys still give the unwashed peasants that aren't paying for it a chance, I think it's fantastic.
Well, I think you're in the minority, right? Like you're in the center core of this community that that absolutely knows how to navigate an online drop, and not everyone has the time or the skills or the luxury to do that. And so, I think that I think the launch world should exist where there's like a mix of first come first served, where like there's drops that are aimed at you, Davon. So if you're online and like you got to work your tail off to get it and figure out a way, that's cool. But then there's also room for drops where, it's the guy who's moving between his third and fourth job and doesn't see the notification or doesn't know the draws happened and isn't kind of on his phone the whole time, also still has a chance to get that win. So, or the investment banker that doesn't get to take his coffee break during that time when it's drawn and see the note. You know what I mean? Like some people have the time and they're on it all the time. Others are not. And there's room for both, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that goes back to the cultural shift of we're old, we're up. He was outside. I was up at 3:00 in the morning on SNS. Time to get these Reebok pumps, Nike.com drops where it's just you had to do strategic resets. Refreshes to pray to God that this shoe is still in stock and my card hasn't failed or it didn't crash while it was taking me to PayPal. And now we're in the age of you're waiting in queue. Like you said, we're adults now. If I didn't have the benefit of being a stay-at-home dad, I would not be able to go for shoes. I also have an absurd luck stat where I just win. So I know. I mean, am I lying?
No, he's right. He's right. It's like it's sickening.
So I don't like. You love me. I got him I get him all his shoes. I'm lying, but because I feel like I have been unfair with some of my criticism. Some fair, some unfair, but that's the nature of the game. I think it's just it's such a weird spot to be in, especially considering that you guys are the face. And I guess, like I've always said, the biggest problem with you guys, as far as I've seen, is messaging. And I do feel like you've gotten a lot better. Not even just because like you came on here, you guys have gotten better. I applied to be the community manager. I didn't get an immediate rejection. I thought
I was campaigning internally, man. I was campaigning. I was like, let's just interview Davon. Come on. Like
it would have been fun. But honestly, I thought I was going to get a call from Australia. Like, we have your address. We're coming to kill you. I'm like, I can't blame y'all for that. But
we had that anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm glad you guys are taking a step because, I know you can't, I don't know if you can speak much to it. That big kerfuffle with the dunking on that guy when he was like, I haven't won since
Oh, yeah.
2023. And I feel like you've come a long way because that was ugly. And that's every company's nightmare. You got this loud asshole yelling. You got other people with more nuanced takes. In what went from a small situation that was a bad mistake turned into a whole discussion around the company as a whole. And
Yeah.
I appreciate that you guys didn't fold. You deleted the tweet. When I say you, I mean equal. Like
Yeah.
the tweet was deleted, the apology was issued, and it seems like everybody has moved on from it. And I'm glad that you guys, I mean, I should be getting paid because I was saying I need a community manager, but I'm glad that you guys are trying to make the push to go forward because even though I hate that I don't win as much as I feel as though I deserve, I have to understand that this is the nature of the beast. It always comes down to the path of least resistance, especially as a store owner, because I've always said that you guys' system is a dream come true for a store owner. I don't have to pay for bot protection. I don't have to worry about someone fucking up a link and it going out early. I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about cards being declined, like that whole union situation where the payment processor fucked up. It is a set it and forget it type of situation, and it makes sense. But at the same time, I don't win as much. And for most people, fairness is I win because I know that's fair to me. I'm not even going to sit up here. I don't care about the community as a large. I don't care how y'all get your shoes. I'm worried about how I get my shoes. So I feel like you guys get put in an unfair position of like seen as the gatekeeper who's stopping people from getting their shoes. And like, do you guys feel like y'all are stuck in that position, or the community's like? I feel like a good majority of the community has embraced you guys because you've made it an easier way to get shoes. So that was very rambly.
No. That's cool. I think, mate, what's interesting, right, is like the Twitter, sneaker Twitter is one part of the community, and there's no doubt that it's the core and the center of people talking about sneakers, and there's a lot of voices in there, but so we do at the end of most launches, there's like an optional survey you can do. And a lot of like some of the questions are like, do you think this was fair? And so a lot of the responses are, well, it's, I guess that you get the responses at both ends of the spectrum, but you would be surprised, you would be surprised at how many people say, yeah, I think that was fair. Why do you think it was fair? Well, I paid a fee. Well, if I win, I'm going to pay a fee. So like I know that's going to contribute to the fairness. So yeah, look, I think more people appreciate how easy it is to enter, and kind of the flexibility of the platform for the retailers. But from a consumer point of view, it's easy for people to enter and they get closure one way or another, right? Like I think a lot of raffles, like you go in, you enter into a Google Forms raffle, and well, I guess I lost. Like no one called me, or no one sent me an invoice, so I guess I lost. But yeah, I like that we provide some closure one way or another. You get an email to say you won or you lost, and your equalizer score's gone up, which is a good thing. But yeah, so yeah, I think that there is a large amount of positivity around the service and what Equal's doing for fairness and people's feelings about getting a fair shot.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I gotta thank Shaw. He just killed a spider for us. That's why we were laughing. It's funny. He was saying I need to come to Australia, and it's like, y'all fight spiders for fun. We scared.
Now, my wife probably won't listen to this, but I killed 2 spiders in the house last night here. So so yeah, but then I don't know. Maybe
I'm leaving the whole country.
Kill you.
No. He's scared as
Hell
fuck.
no.
And we were talking, right, Dave, on it. I was up at the Whit Sundays up at the Great Barrier Reef the other week for a vacation with the family, and we had to wear stinger suits when we got in the ocean because there's jellyfish up there between November and May. There's jellyfish up there, and these little guys are like 1 to 2 centimeters. So it's not like you're going to see it coming, but these things will kill you if you don't, get attended to pretty quickly. So you're wearing a full head to toe suit just to go snorkeling around the islands. But yeah,
Australians a different breed of tough. Just now, you got to check your boot for the little spider. The little spider is the one that kills you. The big one you're not afraid of. I'm afraid of everything. Yellow on like a no-fly list. Like all of Australia is blacklisted for me because I'm scary. I'm a giant pussy. I'm sorry for detouring, but I do want to know: would it be possible one day for a retailer to change the message? Because if I ever use E.Q.L, not saying that I will, because you've asked me, I might do it one day for
this
fun.
is a sales call for me, man. I'm trying to get you on board here. This is like me pitching E.Q.L to in search of.
I will do it if I can change the message to "fuck you, you lost." That was perfect because you know what? That is the one thing I do appreciate about this, because it's nothing worse than you look at the timeline and you see people get an invoice and you're just like, mine's coming, and just getting a message that says "fuck you, you lost." It would just make me feel better. Like, you know what? At least I know. You've had it. You hit a girl up and you wait for the text you back, and you're just like,
right. I think you just have to make sure the account belongs to someone 18 and up, just to make sure.
Yeah.
forget you.
Okay.
Yeah, just a censored middle finger. I think that'd be an amazing email. Just results and just.
Well, you can like retailers can customize the winner's email, put in like a whatever image they want, and customize the look and feel of that email. So maybe on the winners you can do something crafty. But the losers, man, we've got to be nice. We don't like to call them. We call them non-winners. They're not. We don't like to use the term losers.
And in search of, you're even a winner circle, you're a loser. But
you just didn't win this time.
You didn't win this time.
Yeah.
You're close. Here's a participation trophy. That's what I would put, participation trophy. No, I mean, it's just such a strange world to be in with, like you said, sneaker Twitter. Actually, I was watching an interview recently about sneakers. Does sneaker Twitter have any effect on how you guys move? Or you like, oh man, a cast of characters about to call us fun names?
I feel like that was the case with Silver Lining.
Yeah.
I mean, does it have any effect? Like, the short answer is probably no. But like, it's also. But I also think there's value in listening to all of the voices, right? And I think that's largely like why I'm here today. Is like, right. You guys have been super critical of E.Q.L in the past, and some of it I think is just because maybe there's been a misunderstanding because of the messaging. To your point, Davon, but I'm always on Twitter, having a look around and like trying to keep track and keep up with what's happening. I think what's fascinating about the culture and the community at the moment is like things last a day, right? Like everything moves so fast. And like, I think it's Trent, I don't know him at all, but he made a really good point the other day around like everyone gets so upset about a drop. And then the next day it's forgotten about. It's moved on. We're just on to the next thing. And it's just this relentless machine that kind of just keeps on churning over. And a few of the we definitely take notice of like the even the Sockjig podcast that he's done. Shout out Sockjig. He's a great guy. We've chatted a bit in the DMs, and I really respect his voice in the community as well. I think he's like super balanced and fair, and I love his sense of humor. He has a bit of fun with it. I'm not sure everyone picks up on that, but yeah, I think he's great. But he did a whole podcast around that incident, let's call it. It moved on pretty quick. But did we learn from it? Did we take notice of it? Absolutely. Like, and I think any company, any team that doesn't listen to all voices and learn from and take something away, good, bad, or indifferent, then I don't think. I just don't think you're doing the right thing to listen to all of the voices of the consumer.
Okay, so what do you think is the most underutilized tool or most underrated tool that the vendors use, and the most underrated tool for the consumer that E.Q.L provides?
That's a good one. So I think from a retailer point of view, I want to see, like, I would love to see more retailers using exclusive access. So yeah, we've got 3 features. I think I've mentioned them so far today, but like the 3 levers that the retailers can pull. So exclusive access, which is essentially the same as the sneakers app exclusive access. We've had ours in market for a long time. That's not supposed to be like, oh, we're better than sneakers. That's not what I'm saying.
Don't talk your shit.
Yeah, no, not saying that. But yeah, so retailers can invite a select group of people to an invite only or exclusive access raffle. And so, you might have 100 pairs of something, but you've got 500 people on your VIP list. Like, if I was a retailer, I'd be like, hey, VIP only raffle. Like, it's got to be a chance. Like, you've still got to get lucky, but the pool of people you're competing against now is super low because you're our most important. That they can also tailor that to, like, oh, I've got 100 pairs, like I'll only send out 100 invites. And so then it's like, you getting a pair. But then there's also invite only, or, this feature we built for a lot of the collaborators, which is friends and, for their friends and family drops, or wanting to, get the product into the hands of their friends and family with a guarantee. So that's like a direct link, like, follow this link to check out, basically. But I think the exclusive access for VIPs and a way to reward members or very important clients is underused by retailers. That could be used more often. And I think vendors could use both at the same time, right? So you do almost like a pre-release exclusive access for the VIPs for half of your inventory, and then the other half can be open, could be used for an open raffle, right? And give a broader audience a chance. So there's that. And then I think maybe this comes down to the messaging a little bit on our part, but also the vendor or the retailer's part as well, is for the consumer. If your store is doing a in-store pick up and purchase, or like an in-store raffle using E.Q.L, like I would make the effort to go down to that store and enter.
Yeah, I feel like more people, like, it's not messaging on your part, but I would love more stores to do it, because the only people I feel like that really do it often enough is AMM, because I know they, I don't know if they boast here or they give local priority access for people who come into the store to verify their entry. And the same with the VIP link that you were mentioning. I know they've done that in the past. What the hell are you laughing about?
Yeah.
Spanish losing its mind. But I've seen
Is it another spider or what?
My stomach made a noise. I'm not gonna hold you.
Well, I didn't hear it. So
I've been trying to sorry, I just got over like allergies, and so my stomach is on empty, and I had like pineapple, and it's not sitting right. But sorry, I'm being immature. I always do this. Don't mind me, please.
This is the beauty of having a guest. They get to see how stupid we are.
It's like ADHD. I didn't kill the spider. My stomach acting up. Just
yeah.
Beautiful interview so far. Please continue.
But I mean, that is the nature of loose laces. We are not professional. We are spider killers and stomach growlers. But no, I wish more stores would utilize the features that you say, because like you said, a friends and family drop not getting messed up, because I know Union had an issue with their friends and family site. Everything leaks no matter what you do with it. And you couldn't check out on that site unless you were on the whitelist. Excuse me. And then somehow the whitelist feature got messed up, and the Discord kids found it. And everybody checked out on the Chicago, the Shadow Chicagos, and then they had to cancel them. And it's just like, that sucks that it's so hard to do something nice for a small group of individuals. Like, there are ways to do it, but a lot of shop owners aren't going to do it. And I like that E.Q.L has those features. If, you know, as the brand grows, if you guys let me put the fuck you message, I would love to utilize that exclusive access, because when AMM did it and I was able to get, I don't know if it was the threes. I think it was the threes. I was able to get the threes, even though it wasn't hard to get on the first come, first serve drop. Just the fact that it was exclusive access made it so much easier. I clicked it and it was like, all right, so the data to process it, I mean, we do it, we're going to process, you're going to go through, blah, 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 blah. It's nice to know that you guys have stuff. And like, I think Jam win, because I told him if y'all do first come, first serve and it doesn't suck, I'll get the E.Q.L logo tatted on my leg. I think he's alluded to that, and I'm not looking forward to a tattoo, but
yeah, who knows, man? Well, I think you should maybe just do some research on some tattoo artists in your local area, and you know, who knows, they might get your business.
I'm gonna let him draw it.
That's actually printed on the wall in the office, Davon. It's like, Davon will get this is what motivating the team. Like, we're driving towards it to
teach his ass a lesson.
Yeah.
No, I love the idea. If you can get first come, first serve ready, I'm gonna love doing my patented LOLs, and I'm gonna love even more. Fuck E.Q.L. I remember when you guys did raffles, these bullshit first come, first serve drops.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, we kind of playing ping pong between. What's the dream client for E.Q.L?
Oh man, I think the dream client. Geez, I don't know if I should state it, but I think it's probably obvious, right? Like, at the moment, no one's bigger than Travis. Like, if you know, to do Travis's site drops would be great, but you know, anyone in that kind of zone, like any of the big collaborators, is where, you know, the product really comes into its own. So anyone given the opportunity to do that for anyone in that space would be amazing. But I also want to say, like, I know the guys that run Travis's raffles, and, you know, really good guy, like super good human. So I don't want to come on here and say I want to cut his lunch, but that, you know, I think if you're in this game, like, everyone's going to say that, right? So, but you know, shout out to that team. They're a good bunch.
Have you reached out to Nina Chanel? Are you able to disclose that? Because your face told a whole story.
I've never spoken to Nina, so not. I've never had a conversation with Nina or anyone on Nina's team.
Not yet.
But if Nina wants to reach out, I'm definitely available.
Yeah. Okay.
That three drop was rough. I'm just trying to think, like, do you think you guys will be able to handle the advanced pressure of, well, Travis is still hot, but he's not as hot as he once was.
Yeah.
I mean, the shoes still hit, but I mean, you would definitely get a lot of love.
People, like, how many first come first serves on that last one, on that lime green one? There was there was less raffles out there than there has been on a Travis shoe.
Yeah, because I'm just sitting there thinking about it. Because I was surprised I had a size 13, and just the thought of,
did anyone buy those yet?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I got you on the next one.
Yeah.
But it's just the thought of dealing with that level of heat, because, like, as you guys grown, because I remember the first time I saw you guys, it was for one of those it was some kind of cup. It was something not sneaker related.
Stanley.
I think it might have been Stanley. It was something. It was one of the Discords, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then you guys came in the sneakers, and I was just like, "Oh no, the time of raffles is here."
Yeah. And that's the good thing about the product, right? Like it can work across any vertical. Like it's not just built for sneakers. Like, yes, that was the genesis of it and the problem we were trying to solve. But man, we do a lot of Pokemon trading cards at the moment.
That's what I was about to say.
A lot of like limited edition whiskey and alcohol, a lot of like collectibles. So yeah, some of the big toy companies that we're working with. Yeah, we've even done a couple of like events. So we did the tickets for the Nike Melbourne Marathon here last year. So you know the use cases for the product is pretty far and wide. It's just if you've got a situation where either you've got more demand than supply, it's perfect. If you've got a situation where you know you want to try and build some heat around a launch and use different mechanics to build excitement around it, well then you know the tools are there to help you achieve whatever your objective is. So this depends on what you want to get out of the launch.
That's so funny to me that Pokemon has become to the point where you need sophisticated anti-botting materials to protect people because going in store will actually be a fight.
Yeah.
I just feel
Crazy, huh?
vindicated. Yeah, because in
Crazy.
'98, I told my stepdad, I'm like, these cards are going to be worth money. And he told me to shut up. And it's like, what's up now, old man? I was right all along.
Yeah.
Happens.
But what about from you guys? Like, what do you guys think is like, you know, what's the biggest issue in the community that you know you think needs help, or like with launches or whatever it might be? But like, yeah, what's a pain point for you guys in the community at the moment?
I mean, honestly, launches have gotten to a very comfortable position where we're not seeing as many Google forms. We've gotten away from some of the less savory raffle software, like what are they? I can't think of the
Like
name.
Rafflecopter and
Rafflecopter and stuff like that.
yeah,
I feel like we've gotten to a very comfortable point because the pandemic was a fucking nightmare. There was so many bad drops. There was so many botched releases. I mean, me personally, I've never been a big Kith fan, but their releases are absolute dog shit. Aside from their raffles, which I didn't think it was possible. I hate Kith raffles more than I hate E.Q.L raffles. At least I've won with you guys. Kith, I get nothing. I mean, I think the biggest pain point, it always comes down to messaging. A lot of the times it's hard to get things across because stores don't communicate like they should. I feel like it's difficult to keep up, and it's not fully on the store. It's just there's so much product that's dropping hourly. Like today, what was it yesterday?
It could be today. I forgot the Barclays were releasing today.
Barclays released, the pink foam Air Max 95s released, the Justin Timberlake golf shoes released. Yesterday, there was the Nina Chanel's. There was another shoe that released that I forgot about. There are so many releases. It's hard because Air Max Training, friend of the show, did say it well. And I mean, I've talked about it even down to music. Me and this guy formed a friendship over like our shared love of sneakers, but it was the music. We would talk about music. Now an album comes out, someone says it's trash, someone says it's a classic. 24 hours later, new album from this artist. So, I mean, something I would like to see in, I don't know if you guys can do it. I don't even know if you should do it, but I know Jam Win was trying to do community things where he was getting certain shoes and doing releases that way. Like, I like the idea of coming back to the community and, you know, having fun with it as much as you can, because, you know, there's a whole bunch of fucking 35-year-olds crying every day about shoes that I deserved it because I watched Michael Jordan play once on VHS. I don't know. Like, I think the culture of entitlement is the biggest issue. Saying that from an entitled man child to other entitled man children. I just feel like it's a very difficult position to be in because everybody is trying. And it's not easy. You know, people cry about backdooring, but most of these people don't support the stores because, like, I can get this shoe or I can get these socks, I can get the shirt from somewhere for cheaper. At the same time, stores don't support people because people don't buy from them. Like, I got into an argument not too long ago with a guy who said that CPFM only picks the same people. And I was like, but they pick people who buy their products. You know, as a store owner myself, when I start doing raffles, when I start doing like bigger releases, I'm going to take care of the people who have spend on my store. You know, we were talking before, my brand is growing. If you bought one of my hats, you bought the hat last year, you bought one of my jackets, here you go. And you're some Johnny come lately. Hey, I saw you working with E.Q.L. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll never hide it. As a store owner, I'm here for your money. So it is it's a tight, like, it's a very strange line to walk. And that's why, again, I'm really glad that you were willing to do this conversation, because it's a culture of entitlement, is a culture of I need to have it. And being denied is the biggest problem for a lot of people because they don't see the store telling them no. They see E.Q.L telling them no. And then when they go on to the Discord or they go on the Twitter, they see the community manager, they see they see Mitch, they see all these people, and they're like, you did this to me. And it's just this really hard thing because sneakers went from, hey, I got some cool shoes and I'm mentally ill. Are you mentally ill as well? Yes, I am, to this is a profit center. You know, I hate that discussion around shoes is, oh, the resale of this shoe is $5,000. I would never wear it outside. I put it in the case.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's so fucking lame.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just, it's so much that's there that I've tried to take a step back to just enjoy the nature that, you know, I have really cool shoes. And before I had a wife, women thought my shoes were cool. And like, I had fellow mentally ill friends that thought my shoes were cool. I mean, something wrong with us. We're out here standing in line for sneakers.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I would love to get back to, because just talking about everything is just no fun. You know, even I stopped being as critical on you guys because it's like, I'm not having fun anymore. I dunked on you. I got yelled at, and you guys have gotten better. Y'all got a community manager. I didn't get cussed out. So, I mean, do you have something you think is a pain point?
I mean, the pain point to me is just the entitlement. You know, just like you stated. I do think a lot of people now, it's like, oh, well, if I have so many pairs of this shoe and I bought from this brand for so long, then I'm entitled to get these shoes. And then it's like, you know, thousands of people that feel the same way. What makes you any better than them? You know, especially for people that, you know, this might be their first shoe that makes them a sneakerhead, a quote unquote sneakerhead.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes people just don't think about that. How did you fall in love with the game? Do you really love the game? You know, or is it just I'm participating in it because now it's muscle memory. It's I have to get everything versus, oh no, this actually means something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. This thing's special, or it could spark that like passion and, you know, that kind of interest in the game. And Dave, I'm coming back to like you saying, oh, you're gonna, when you do a limited release, you're gonna bless everyone who spent money with you, right? So, and that's like, I like that. That's good. You're rewarding your community, cool. But then, how do you get someone new to fall in love within Search of?
I told him, we literally spoke about that right before, and I was like, yo, what happens when you get somebody who's generally intrigued, and they're like, you know, forget what, you know, that interview that you saw. Like, I actually went back and did the research. And if you, from something simple as, all right, what if you do have a VIP access, right? Where you say, put your email at the bottom, but you do have to say, well, this is what got me interested in you, on like a Google form or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, for me, as a micro brand now, I'm lucky that I have the luxury of being able to reach out and speak with everybody. You know, I had a person in my Discord today. He bought a pair of Air Maxes from me, and he bought my socks, he bought my hat, he bought a pair of glasses before. And what I try to do with people who support me is I always give a discount, or I try to give back. Like, I sometimes get invoices from stores that I'm VIP at,
Mm.
and I can get any size. So I'll just like, hey, first person that has an order, come to here.
Yep.
And even people who haven't supported me monetarily, like there are people who like, I love your jackets. I can't afford to spend $500 on a jacket today or whatever. And then, you know, I always tell people I'm not entitled to your money. Any
Mm.
support is greatly appreciated. But if you retweet me, you do this, I'll try to reach out to somebody. Like, I appreciate that you care about the brand, or if I see that you care about clothes, I would love to talk to you. And if you show you have that passion, hey, I want to let you know that, you know, you might have missed out on this hat, but I'm working on another hat. So when this hat comes out, I'm gonna reach out to you.
Yeah.
Or I mean, like this t-shirt I'm wearing today, it wasn't supposed to come out this year. This was supposed to be a prototype for 2026, but I previewed it and so many people liked it. And I had a few followers on IG was like, I haven't had a chance to get from your brand. I don't see it as much. Can you just reach out to me? And I'm like, cool, here's a link. And I always try to do that. And now all the big boutiques are so established and social media is so big, you can't touch base with customers anymore. You know, even if you have a Discord, I can't speak to everybody. You know, you tend to respond to the people that you know well. Oh,
Mm.
this is a user that I'm familiar with. Hey, good morning, versus some random guy who's like, why are you here? And it's such a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's such a weird position to be in. That's why I always say I don't believe in this old sneaker entitlement. You know, I love this shoe since 1985. The guy who runs uh concept social media does not give a fuck that you are the biggest Jordan fan. Bro's here to do his job. He probably loves the shoe just as much as you, but man, I make $15 an hour to put, like, be on Instagram. Don't give a fuck about your backstory. That's
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's why I've always like first come, first serve. If you were meant to get it, you were meant to get it. You got to flex on everybody and earn your
Yep.
keep. So it's difficult. And then with raffles, it's that whole, I mean, me personally, I like a quick, dirty raffle. If I would have
Yeah.
used equal 45 minutes, there you go.
Oh, man, I keep campaigning to retailers to do like 15-minute raffles. Like if you've got something that is hot as hell, then like 15-minute raffle in and out, you get way more entries than you've got for the products that you're going to sell through. And yeah, quick and dirty. Like I would love to see more short, sharp raffles on Equal than we have seen yet. But I also know, you know, from a retailer's perspective, those entries that you're getting, like it's a customer acquisition tool as much as anything, right? Like you're building your audience by taking entries and people are opting into marketing. And then all of a sudden you've got a way to talk to them and communicate with them. And who knows, you know, they might buy something. They're going to be a brand new customer and that's going to be part of your growth for the business. So like it is a really powerful customer acquisition tool. But as I said throughout today, it's like, I think there's the world needs to have a mix of everything, and retailers should be using different levers to take products to market. One day it's an open raffle, one day it's a VIP, one day I'm going to use 20% of my inventory for VIP, and then I'm going to use the rest of it for an open raffle. And just be like really a lot more strategic about how they're taking these things to market and driving excitement themselves, you know, rather than oh, the brand's got to drive the excitement or whatever. Like, and there's a lot of stores and a lot of neighborhood retailers that do a lot to drive energy around a release and invest their own money and highly likely lose money on a big activation for a release. So to drive heat around their store, which is great. I just think there's tools available to be able to like enable some of that stuff a bit easier.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I'm glad that we have so many ways to go and do interesting, fun releases. Because I like the idea of there's a secret link for E.Q.L. Make someone
Mm,
find it, or how
yeah,
Nike did that sneakers, that exclusive
sneaker link.
access.
Eric
Yeah,
Costa.
yeah, with the Eric Costa was great until Discord found it, but that is the nature of information sharing because everyone swore this is the best sneakers has ever done. Yeah, that was like
Mm,
50,000 pairs. Wait until they do that with 200 pairs.
yeah,
Then we're going to see people cussing Nike out again.
yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's why it's just, I try to have a nuanced look at it as having my foot in both sides as a retailer and a consumer because it's not as simple as people think. Because, like, I don't know if you could say much about this if you see it, but from what I understand, especially with like hot shoes, stores may have less than 100 and get like 15,000 entries for a release.
Yeah, I mean, the supply to demand sometimes is like off the scale for sure, and I think that's that's pretty obvious, and everyone's pretty clear on that. Like what the numbers are, I don't think even really matters. Like it's the supply to demand is off the scale sometimes for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just always like to confirm that because a lot of people have these theories. Like we talked about it, but that goddamn run fair fee is the worst thing in the world. Because I know it's a processing charge, but again, the marketing absolutely cooks you guys. Because when AMM puts up a raffle and people look at it, $10.15 and run fair fee. Ugh! And I'm just like, y'all gotta change that name. You got to call it retailer processing charge.
Yeah, that's really interesting, mate. That's really interesting. We kind of toyed around, calling it a processing fee because you're right. Like that's what it is. It's a processing fee the same way that you pay a fee like that for your Uber ride or your Airbnb or whatever the thing is. Everything, most it's kind of pretty widely used. But yeah, I mean, the run fair fee is, I guess, a way of like sharing the cost of the benefits, right? Like retailers pay a fee, and they're paying for a fee for the benefits that they get from the platform, and the value they get from the platform, and a processing fee kind of does the same thing for the consumer. That's if you win. But just to be super clear, it's only if you win, you pay that run fair fee.
You'd be surprised by how many people think that you guys are charlatans and charging people to try to get in. That's one of my favorite things because it was the Crystal Air Max Plus that came out. And I think it was like a $30 run fair fee. And I saw people they're charging you to enter. And I was just like, y'all gotta, I mean, it's always the case. It's always messaging because you got to have branding. But if you use the wrong branding, people associate it with something that it's not meant to be. And it's hilarious, but it's like the saddest thing in the world. It's just like, it's just a processing fee, bro. There's no such thing as a run fair fee. It's a processing fee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we could make it any clearer that it's only throughout the journey, right, of people going through the steps to enter. Like it pops up at every single step. So every single screen, it's on there and it's called out, and there's an explainer on there, and the information is available. But that's just society, right? Like
That's
you
what
can.
I mean, shoot, that's how it is when you trying to check out. I'm trying to check out in 10 seconds. I am not reading the explanation of what a run fair fee is.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the funniest thing because, like, I've seen people use that as a point of war. Sock made a really good joke where it was like, all these wins with no run fair fee. And then somebody, like, I saw people posting there's a kid I know in Discord. Every drop, he puts up a fake like a fake screenshot of all the raffles he's bought it, and somebody posted up and was like, and now you guys hate run fair fees, and it's like the fact that this has become a point of contention, bro, is a processing fee. I hate it, but you know what? If I get a shoe that I would have had to pay $800 for, you know what? That $40 ain't that bad.
Nah, look, go ahead.
I was going to say, like on that, right? Like, would you? There's a lot of releases that go down where you're picked as a winner, you're sent an invoice, you go to check out, maybe you missed it for 20 minutes, but you go to like complete that invoice and it's out of stock, or you complete it and then the next day there's all these cancellations. Because like it's really interesting to watch sneaker Twitter the day after a release, or like even the Cortez drop yesterday, there was all this, like there's so many comments like, oh shit, please don't cancel my order, and like people like literally worried about their order being canceled because it's become such a thing that happens. Like, would you guys I don't know, would you be okay to like pay the fee to avoid all of that stuff? Because you can't get charged straight away, and you know that all of those issues largely, you know, go away. But would you rather pay the fee to avoid that stuff or not? Do you think the community would?
The fee is fantastic when I win. After that, when I don't win, fuck you guys. The shoe's overpriced. I mean, I always look at it like this. Like I said before, people only care about equality when it's equal enough for them. Because what was it? Nobody gives a fuck if, like, let's say, I'm trying to think, the Swarovski Crystal Jordan ones that are coming out. That shoe's gonna retail $4,000. If it's like the CPFM Dunks, it's probably gonna go for like $4,000 on the aftermarket. If I have to pay $100 processing fee, so I'm paying $1,100 plus tax, versus I missed the shoe, nobody gives a fuck. You know, I like raffle invoices because I pay mine instantly. I'm a psychopath. My phone is glued to me. But I've seen the pain of it because you won Union and your size was out of stock.
Yeah.
And you had to wait till 2:00 in the morning for it to restock. It happened with Nina Chanel. It's happened. Everybody loves it when it works as intended. But when it doesn't work, this shit is trash. So I can't say one is definitively better than the other because you got to win. But yeah, to answer your question, how do you pay the fee? I mean, especially if like I only enter E.Q.L, equal raffles when it's profitable, because a lot of these shoes I don't care about. I'm selling them. I'm the worst customer for you guys. But hey, if that fee not gonna cost me too much, fuck it. I'll pay the extra $15. I'll make that money back I'm gonna add it to the price. But like I said, it's a give and go. You guys, you're paying for the convenience. Because with raffles, you know, during the bottom years, they had to make raffle forms weird where you enter your first name here, then the street address, then the second address, and then half address here. It can take time. You have to find the links. You have to pay attention. I know some skate shops will do a Google form that is only open for 15 minutes or until they get the full quota of how many entries they want to go through.
Yeah.
It's like paying for convenience. Like I paid $1,300 for my Chinese New Year's Air Forces. They're now like a $400 shoe. I paid to make sure I got the pair that I wanted. I had the disposable income for it. I wanted it. So of course you're going to pay it. And I mean, we see it all the time. People only care when it's something to nitpick, and it's not so bad after you win. Because I see it all the time on sneaker Twitter. Everyone hates it. Then they win the raffle and, you know, good morning, Equal. Thank you. Because I saw you sneaky motherfuckers when Union was rumored to be a raffle. And I don't know if it was Mitch, but it was some sly motherfucker over there that tweeted, good morning. And I saw grown-ass men, whoever's behind this account is not only handsome, but they have great teeth.
Yes.
I'm like, this is why I'm the bad guy of the timeline, because it's like, just be honest. You like Equal as much as you win. I like Equal as much as I win. I like you, but I don't like Equal because I ain't winning. So,
but you know, like there's also something about, you know, putting positive vibes out there, man. Like, you know, create some positivity on the timeline to everyone. Oh, we love Equal, and you're just creating positivity, man. Like you should check it out, try it out.
Unheard Of brand been doing, that's their entire marketing campaign.
Oh, Unheard Of has been going absolutely crazy. Now that I would love to see you two team up, because the crying is going to be I mean, I've seen grown ass men going oink oink oink. Good morning, oink oink oink. Yeah, that's
That's-
gonna be crazy. Good morning, unheard of in E.Q.L. I love you guys. Oink oink. Happy Grandma Day. Like, oh man, yeah, that is.
but man, that they've done that's been cool. Like, it's been great to see them put the effort into that release. Like, whether you like it or not, they've been putting effort in and trying to engage with the community. And I don't know, like from where I stand, like I think they've done a pretty good job.
They have done an amazing job. Like, I mean, I talked to them. I think that how they handle themselves is corny, but it don't fucking matter what I think. They have done an incredible job. They have fostered the community. The way that they handled that in-store release with that party, the buses, the videos.
Yeah.
They have done an incredible job because we talk about messaging. They got the message across. People got the shoes. People are happy. I mean, they
Yeah.
botched the online release, but they went out and they invoiced people and they had people oinking for them. And I'm not going to front. If I had the power to make people oink, I mean, I would take it. Yo, oink if you want this hat. So, yeah, I mean, they've done an incredible job. That is the power of messaging. Like, I'm not a positive person. I'm a goddamn winner, but I try to be honest about it. So I get why you guys go the way you do because we see how it goes when you guys try to dunk on people. That did not go well. And as a brand, I would have strongly stay the hell away from that. And I mean, shit, if I worked there, I would have been doing like KFC, just making fun, weird tweets, having fun with people. Yeah, you know what? You guys could be the sneaker KFC. Just, hey guys, we got 5 pairs. First person to oink in like a voice message wins. It always comes back to oinking for me.
But man, like I think what we're talking about is, which is what people want to see from retailers and brands, right? Is just like having some fun, taking the piss out of yourself a little bit, and engaging with the community and like creating some energy around the product and the story and like how you tell people about it. So yeah, I don't know. I think people want to see retailers make those kind of investments and kind of do their best for a release. And yeah, to bring it back to E.Q.L, like what we try and do is take all of the operational pain and heartache off their hands so they can do that. So they can spend all of their time on the storytelling and engagement and activations, and we'll take care of the back end and you know, all of the mechanics around it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the best way. It's the path of least resistance. Everybody wants a fast, equal chance, for lack of a better term. You just want things to be done with. You know, I feel like that's why sneakers has always surpassed Adidas confirmed.
Yeah.
With, you know, I don't know why they're moving backwards and doing these 2-hour long draws. Nobody wants to fucking sit on pins and needles for 2 hours. The quick 3-minute Leos and 10-minute drops. All right, I can go on with my day. Either I won and I'm talking shit, or I lost and now I'm threatening a Nike employee. You get on with your day versus Adidas with this stupid line. And yeah, because like you said, if you guys could get down to quick and dirty raffles, I think a lot of the animosity would disappear because you get an answer within the hour. You know, boom, I won or I lost.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
and you know, all of that stuff is controlled by the retailer. It's up to it's customized by the retailer, so they decide how long it opens for. Like they decide how long it opens for and kind of the different mechanics around it. So, or not mechanics, but different components of it. So yeah, I'd love to see more short and sharp raffles.
See, y'all have my number. Y'all just need to call me as like a strategic advisor. I can reach out to the stores and just like, look, guys, let's make this fast. Let's make this quick. Let's just get these people these shoes. Pay us. Y'all got my number. Y'all got my information. Please don't dox me, but you know.
No. Oh, good. We might take you up on that, mate. I might take you up on that.
You're getting paid.
You getting paid, man. It's all you.
Imagine that.
Yeah, but let's start to wind it down. I really wanted to say again, thank you for taking the time to come out here and speak with us. Like I've said to you before, I'm glad that we could talk about this and we could dispel a lot of or attempt to dispel, because a lot of things will probably be taken out of context or misunderstood. But I'm glad that we can talk about this, because it's hard to get nuance from Twitter. It's even harder to get nuance from Discord when everybody's screaming at you.
Yeah.
And to get a better understanding, to know that you guys aren't just like three Australian dudes who like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, we got tech. To know that you guys really are immersed in the culture and understand, and you are willing to learn and grow and talk about it, rather than closing your ears and just saying, oh, fuck this guy, let's just keep going. So I can't thank you enough for reaching out to me, for the talks that we've had, and for you to come on the show. This means the world to me. I'm very rarely this genuine, but I just love that you are willing to do this with us.
No, man. I mean, thank you both for having me on, and just as I said at the start, just wanted to sit out on the couch and talk some shit, and hopefully we covered off some stuff that will help people understand a little bit more, and they can still not winning on equal. That's totally fine and normal, and that's cool. But yeah, just hopefully there's a bit clearer understanding of how some of this stuff works and what we're trying to do. And as you said, mate, like we care about this community and making sure this community is getting a fair shot and being kind of looked after, I guess. So yeah, and I appreciate you guys having me on and doing it at a time that works well for me in this time zone.
Yeah,
Shout out to time zone.
thank you for your time. I'm just glad to kind of hear the other perspective of it. Again, just so that way I don't think you guys are just tech, like actually hearing a background or knowing that you guys are ingrained in the community in some form or fashion. And you guys are like, you know what, let's go ahead and just present this as an alternative or a solution, Yeah. So I appreciate it.
Cool.
I will be using E.Q.L to get those Black Rodeo SBs. So if you see my name, just just kind of press the button.
Get us in the secret level of equal plus.
If only there was one.
Wink. But final thoughts. Final thing I want to say before we go. Shout out Mitch for rolling with the punches. Let's give that man a round of applause. All right. Thanks for joining us. Dog bless.